I've been in the Hunters Guild for hell. I don't really know. 5 years, give or take by now. Time moves differently once you start counting it by hunts instead of seasons, by scars instead of birthdays. A lot has changed since the day they found me in the vast ancient forest, though I don't think I realized it at the time. My mind was often too distracted by my own thoughts and desires. I still remember that day, as if it were yesterday. Back then, I wasn't a guild hunter. I wasn't anything official at all. I was wrapped in Anjanath hide, thick, dark red scales and black pelt over my shoulders, stitched together with crude fiber and leather I'd braided by hand. Every piece of armor I wore had been earned the hard way. Torn, repaired, torn again. Every couple of months I found myself shedding the tattered hide and replacing them with fresh layers. I carried a spear wherever I went, bone lashed to crude stone or teeth, reinforced with monster sinew. Heavy and imperfect, but was reliable nonetheless. Makeshift armor for a makeshift life. And my heart was still brimming with hatred. Hatred for the species that took everything from me. Hatred that cut me alive when skill alone could not. When fear threatened to creep in, I fed it that hatred and pushed forward without second guessing my purpose that I felt was bestowed upon me. That day, the ancient forest was alive in its usual way, insects humming in the canopy, leaves shifting under unseen weight. Somewhere far off, something large announced itself, with a roar that didn't concern me. Not yet, at least. There were guild researchers out there too, though I didn't know it at the time, surveying the forest, cataloging the flora, studying the Aptonoth herds as they moved through their breeding grounds, measuring the herd's numbers, the established nests, even naming key members of the herd, trying to understand them better, I suppose. One of them was a small lass, 5'2", maybe, 5'3". I don't remember her height so much as the sound she made when she fell. She'd been focused on her notes, recording observations of a Aptonoth clutch that season. Too focused, she didn't see the loose earth beneath her boots. One misstep then another, and then gradually, the bush gave way. I heard her before I saw her. Branches snapping, dirt sliding, thudding footsteps that didn't belong to anything native to the part of the forest. I rose to my feet. The moment I heard it, spear in hand, instincts flaring. Whatever it was, it had wandered into my territory. She stumbled down into the meadow and landed hard, where I was enjoying the spoils of my hunt. My back was against the corpse of an Anjanath I had been tracking for days. Its massive body laid sprawled in the grass, steam still rising faintly where its blood met the cool air. I was covered in my own bruises and blood alike, the hide darkened and stiff where it had already begun to dry. A small fire burned nearby. I had been roasting a strip of its flesh over the flames, quiet and methodical, listening to the forest settle now that something big had stopped breathing. I stepped out of my resting place beside my fire. Moving towards the center of the clearing, she looked up at me, and she panicked. The poor girl's eyes went wide, and she scrambled backwards, hands slipping in the grass, breath coming fast and shallow. To her, I must have looked like something half feral, draped in monster hide, face smeared with grime and blood, standing over a fresh kill with a spear still warm from the fight. I didn't say a word. Felt no need to chase her, didn't threaten her. I just watched as she gathered herself and fled back the way she'd came, crashed into the brush and undergrowth like prey escaping her predator. Once she was gone, I went back to what I was doing. I carved what I needed, took bone for a new spearhead, and fresh hide to replace what had been torn during the fight. I worked until the fire burned low and the forest reclaimed its usual sounds. To me, it was just another hunt. Another day survived. A few hours passed. The sun was slowly descending behind the mountain range to the north, casting a soft glow over the forest. Then, the forest shifted again. Footsteps heavier this time, confident, purposeful. The kind that didn't belong to something running away. The Admiral stepped into the clearing. The same lass at his side. She pointed at me before I even could turn around. He took one look at the Anjanath, then at my armor, and then we locked eyes. And in that very moment, I could tell he understood. He didn't draw a weapon or shout any orders. He laughed, a booming sound that carried through the trees like he'd just found something he didn't know he was looking for. Admittedly, I tilted my head in confusion at him, questioning what the hell this guy was doing here. He told me about Astera, about the guild, about real weapons, refined armor, and structured purpose. He told me I could hunt Anjanath under their banners, as many as I wanted to, given they were greenlit for extermination, of course. With better gear and better odds? It was a bribe, and we both knew it. I didn't give it a second thought. That was the day the guild found me, and I had no idea that this moment would change my life forever.